Thanks for joining me today. My name is Mike, and this presentation is for ADMG 373 training and program development. Um, Throughout the quarter, I've been working with a company called Green State Painting, and a friend of mine owns a company. His name is Zoltan. Um, So I sat down with him early in the quarter and we talked about some of his company goals and values. And I was hoping that I could put a training together for him that would help him reach these goals and increase the values of his team. So, little background on the company. Zoli runs a painting company that employs about five or fewer employees in the busy season and basically painting interior and exterior homes. So during my interview with Zoli, he told me about some of the goals that he has for Green State Painting. And these goals include building long-lasting relationship with customers and also employees and even the vendors that he has to buy from. He said that he'd like to increase these relationships. He also indicated that he'd like to increase the amount of jobs that he can get done in a year, thereby increasing the revenue. He also talked about wanting to operate environmentally in a way that protects our environment. So I came up with a series of trainings that I think that could be useful for him. I think the biggest problem that he is having is communication, mainly with his crew, which consists of mostly English as second language workers. So there's a little bit of a communication breakdown. So I designed a training that would evaluate these workers and find out what their cognitive abilities are. So basically, I could give them a test and find out what level they're at. And then from there, I can prescribe training that will help them increase their ability, their cognitive ability, which should ultimately allow the goals that Zoli has of increasing the amount of jobs, increasing communication, increasing relationships. These are all based on speaking, writing, reading abilities, taking orders, effectively communicating with people. And I think that if his employees could get a little bit better cognitive abilities, based on stronger reading, writing, and speaking skills, I think that Zoli could ultimately be able to reach his goals and then push on and set some new goals, and maybe he could advance his business and do better. We talked about some weaknesses in his organization as well. Personnel, he feels like, since work is kind of seasonal, personnel is up and down. The real estate market in the last 5 to 7 years has really taken some hits, and he feels like he's very vulnerable to people wanting to fix their house up. It used to be in the past people took out loans against their equity, and the equity is down now, or it's coming back up. But anyway, so vulnerabilities to changing in the market changes, he'd like to protect against that. Most of the training he does is on the job training, but I'd like to take this out of the on the job realm, since the main goals here is to increase communication, which leads to better customer service. So I put together a document here. It's got It's executive summary, needs assessment, and a good training strategy, training program design. Basically, I'm going to piggyback off the Seattle Community College system and use their ESL program to evaluate and then prescribe what level that the workers should be starting at in classes. And the beauty of this is painting has an on and an off season, and during the on season, his employees are working full steam, but during the off season they've got time. So I suggested to Zoli that he take the step and start providing training in communication for his employees. I did a cost-benefit analysis, and the numbers were kind of surprising. For every dollar that Zoli spends on training, he could earn back as much as $44 in return. And this is from being more efficient on the job, finishing the jobs faster, being able to more readily communicate. Direct costs for Green State Painting, they're about $13,000 a year, which breaks down to about $2,700 a year per employee, which sounds like a lot of money until you start looking at what benefits. If he's painting 25 houses a year now, and he can increase that up to 36 houses, that's plus 11 houses net. And the average house painting job is around 10 to 15,000 a year. So if you run the numbers, there is not many reasons why Zoli shouldn't be, helping his employees gain a better understanding of communication. Like I said earlier, this can lead to increased customer service skills, efficiency, all around. Teamwork could be better when everybody can communicate. So as a whole, I think that this training can be useful for Green State Painting, and that this written report that I have provided should do the job. Thank you.